Because I know there's
Okay,
some.
let's do SDL because I am a converted SDL American. I am the jail ambassador of their alliance.
Alrighty.
All right, Char Geiger, come on out.
Yeah, we're at the SDO now with Charguider.
I'm here. I'm here.
Hey there.
Oh my gosh, there he is. The SDL American.
Hey there, Charguider.
What's up?
Hey,
I've
man.
never talked in the server before, so this is
Alrighty.
all new.
Alrighty, man.
Oh,
You want to take it away since you're our SDL representative here?
yeah, I'll start it off. So the SDL, the fun fact right now is that we do have two factions created between Europe and America, and it is spreading to the other conferences. So it's SDL Rope and SDL America. SDL Rope actually did defeat their own. Extra Fun took down Pickle Boom today. So Pickle
Big
Boom is
matchup
not.
as well.
Pickle Boom has a loss now. But overall, SDL Rope is doing better than SDL America, but we do have an in-season tournament coming up, which is going to be kind of sick.
Featuring Navy Cap of the JL, of course.
Yes. He is subbing in because there are only 3 Europeans in the SDL, but there's a lot of Americans. So yeah, he's going to be filling in for that. Yeah, we got the I kind of had like a little bit for each of the divisions, and then it was going to be more so like going into the team specifically, because I know that you guys kind of like just talking about the divisions and whatnot, kind of going over them as a
Yeah, we were just going over the
Yeah.
for the HO. We were just going over like the
Like quick
divisions.
overview.
Yeah.
Maybe some fun
Yeah.
facts about the Coke.
Do you want me to do the divisions first, or like go to the teams individually?
I mean, it's what you want to do. We could also look over like I noticed by the way that we didn't even look over league leaders in the HL, but we can go like league leaders. We can go like trades. We can do what you want to do, man.
Let me touch on the teams
You're the
because
one with the mic.
I kind of go through all the teams and whatnot. I kind of point out some trades, but you can also see the trades
Ready?
on the individual sheets. I'll start with Pickle Boom on the backyard side, just because they're the hot team right now. It's funny because my notes are outdated because right now it says undefeated SDL rope member. He's not undefeated anymore,
Yeah.
which is good news for everyone.
Good news for everyone.
Yeah. So I had actually mentioned, I think I cursed him with my notes. I'd mentioned it seemed like the only the thing I can mention about his team is that it seems like Star Moonbeam is not scoring a whole lot. She has 9 running. She's the fastest player on the team. She only had 1 run scored so far through 6 games.
Whoa.
And she's also batting 368, which is not what you kind of want to see from her since she's almost like a offensive specialist. She has good she's
Absolutely,
great
she is a perfect speedster.
yeah,
I mean,
she's good in the outfield, but she doesn't have the arm strength. But she wasn't scoring, so I was like that's something that he can improve on. That's something that maybe he can work on. He went 3 for 4 with her today, scored 2 runs with her, and lost. So I think he needs to ditch that plan.
Yeah.
And not score with Star if he wants to continue winning.
Yeah, she's definitely an interesting player because she's like so she can either be the best player on your team a day or she can be like the worst player on your team a day.
I got both of those with her in Little League.
Because she can
Yeah.
either go 0 for 3 with 3 groundouts, or she could go like 3 for 3 and score 3 runs, or she could be like a nightmare in the outfield, or she could drop everything in the outfield. Like, you get what I mean?
Yeah, and then he also has Cheryl Reynolds, and I know that he was always complaining about her during the season. It seemed like the last 2 games at least, I guess 3 games now, she's been picking up her weight more. But I know that the first few games of the season, it seemed like after every other game he was trying to trade her away. So she's picking up her weight now, it seems like.
Yeah, because I think she had like a big homer against someone over there. Was it ASD or DOW? I don't know.
Oh, I do not remember.
Yeah. Is there anything else you want to talk about with the Pickles team?
Not particularly. That was what I had for my notes for him. Next
Okay.
up was Extra Fun.
Yeah, extra fun. the league admin representative of the STL rope.
Yep, the second member now. And he was 5-2.
Little
Again, my
League,
notes are out of
Little
date.
League
Now he is
graduate.
6-2. Yes, the Little League graduate.
Yeah, there's a bunch of Little
I
League
was
graduates this season.
Yeah, we have a few in the STL.
We got
He has
some in JL. Of course,
Chico
we got
Papas.
me.
He's
Mulligan
been a
and
cheat code
started.
for him. He has 12 RBIs. He's hitting. He was 11 for 13 before this last game. I think he got one hit, but then he also got walked, and then I think he had a fly out. So he went 1 for 2, which is actually not great for his standards. But Chico's been a cheat code. My tidbit, or like kind of worrisome thing for extra fun, is he's given up 27 runs. Granted, that's through 6 games, so it's not counting week 7 and 8. If you look at kind of some of the other teams in the conferences, the teams that are kind of in the top 4 positions, a lot of them had given up single digits or in the low teens for runs against them. And 27 runs against, I think if he just shores up the defense, the pitching, whatever's going on, I think he'll be in a better position. But right now, it seems like he's kind of leaking in runs. Like week 3 against Route 66, he's in the Discord right now. He gave up 10 runs against him. So
By the way, if
a
you
little
want
bit
to
of,
unmute, you're fine to talk, or you're welcome to talk. By the way, Root, about like that game or your team, if you want to just discuss with
In our
us.
community yap sesh over here, go ahead.
Hey there.
I mean hey guys, I mean
Hey
that
there.
game specifically, he made, not he, but his team made a few errors, and I just capitalized. And that's when, before I made my trade, which I'm sure you guys will get into in a minute, but my team was pretty fast at that point. So I kind of just had a carousel going around the bases, and I think
Your
I
mic is a
scored
bit
and
quiet
scored,
over
but I
there.
couldn't. Give me 1 second.
Alrighty.
How about now?
It's better now.
yeah, it's good.
Nice.
Yeah, I was just saying his team defensively that game wasn't fantastic. There was definitely a few errors, and I hadn't made my trade yet, uh, and my team was really fast at that point. And I think I scored in 4 of 6 innings, if I remember correctly. I'd have to go back and double check that, but yeah, I had runners all over the place the entire game. If you scroll down, um, oh wait, no, that'll be on my sheet when you get there.
Hold
But I
on.
think I had,
We can
I
go over
think I
your
had a
team
bunch of
now
hits.
since you're here. Hold on. What game is that?
That was game 4,
Game
I
3.
think.
Okay.
Game 3. Yeah, I had 19 hits, 5 singles that game, and so it wasn't like I was hitting a bunch of home runs. Wendy did hit a home run, and I remember it. I thought it was going to go off the wall, but it barely made it over the right center field fence, and that was at Parks Department, so short fences. Um, and so I just ground balls and line drives and had traffic on bases the entire game. And that was the first
Yeah.
loss for SCL rope, I'd like to add. So I'm gonna
Oh
put that on
yeah, let's go.
my top shelf.
Ooh.
So that was before I made my trade for Francesca and Angela. I had Wendy and Grace Tipton at that point. Um, so I actually ended up trading Grace and Wendy to Extra Fun for Francesca and Angela.
And then he went on and traded Grace.
Yeah, I think he played one scrim with Grace and then traded Grace.
Yeah.
And is now using Wendy as a starting pitcher. He used her today against Pickle Boom and won that game.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Is there anything you guys want to talk about, like Extra Fun's team now?
I was just gonna say he made quite a few trades, so we're gonna see if the new blood kind of
Let me see. Can I look at
fixes
some of
anything.
these? Okay, so he traded Mikey for Nomar, and he traded Francesca and Angela for Grace and Wendy. Oh, and he also traded Grace for Timmy. And he traded. Man, he's made a ton of trades.
Yeah.
Bro's team is just a revolving door.
He's also said his team was locked in before
True
3 of those
corporate
trades, I
America,
think.
Yeah,
even
there's
though
like
he's
3 times he was
STL
like, "I
broke.
think my team's locked in, but send me any offers," and then the new trade would pop up the next morning.
Yeah, he's just a busy bee when it comes to the trades. Hey, Germ Brits. Yeah, he's just a busy guy.
Yeah, that was all I was gonna say about extra fun. He made those. The last thing was just about he made a lot of those trades, so we'll see if the new blood will.
Yeah,
It's not like he really had any big issues. I would say like he's 5-2, 6-2 now. Obviously, he just beat Pickle Boom, who is undefeated. But maybe he's just trying to shore up something that he saw as a weakness.
yeah. And you want to go over honorable mention this time or no?
Yep, they finally reunited the Weber
Yeah,
twins like a week or two ago.
that was the thing that was kind of a big deal because because I think like Deepath stole a Weber in like the 6th or 7th round.
Yeah, so I wanted to steal Weber. So Honorable had picked a Weber in the 3rd round. I wanted to steal Weber in the 5th round, but 5th round was a little bit too rich for the for taking one of the Webers. Um,
You know,
and I had made a comment, and then Deb had said, "Hey, I'll take him in the 6th round," because I would have done the 6th round, but honorable mention had the pick before me in the 6th. So I really figure that he would take a Weber in the 6th.
yeah, I will say by the way that I honestly am not sure why Honorable did what he did. I don't know why he got so greedy. I even
Trade
told him
baiting?
I told him this in DMs because like I was actually helping Honorable with trying to get a trade for D-Path because he messaged
Hmm.
me and whatnot, and Honorable did, and like I don't know why he didn't just take the Weber in the 5th round. Like yeah,
Yeah, there's a few different ways that it all could have gone down.
yeah,
But in the end, the Webbers are reunited.
yeah.
He has a great record, but he has lost to Mike Dawson and Extra Fun. Um, Gore and Jane Davis have been a pretty good 1-2 punch, having 7 and 6 RBIs, 6 and 7 runs for him, and they're batting 500. I feel like just overall kind of like a solid team. I don't want to say like flying under the radar, but their 2 losses were before they had the Webbers. So maybe combining the Webbers together, they'll go on more of a maybe a win streak going forward. It doesn't look like he has too bad of a um, or like a schedule going forward.
Yeah. Because right now he's 5-2.
Yeah, everyone.
But it needs
I'll be honest.
to.
This entire backyard division, anyone could beat anyone on any given day, and you can see
Yeah.
that because there are 5 teams that are 3-4 right now. There's a team that's
Yeah.
4-4, and then you got Route 66 at 5-3.
And then
Like
you have Honorable
you can
who's
look at
at
this.
6-2. And
Yep,
extra fun as well.
you can look at this in 2 weeks, and this entire leaderboard can be changed.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm looking
Like
at it.
3.
I'm looking at it
So
right
I
now.
think it's very similar to last year. So season 5 SDL, the front yard division was very similar, where a lot of the teams were more congregated together towards the middle and bottom of the standings,
Dude, like
and the backyard was very top heavy. I
you're like,
missed the
dude,
playoffs going 9-5, and then they had someone making it going 6-8, and I can see that happening, but reverse this year.
like I was about to mention that, like, dude, last season in the SDL was so insane for that
Everything
division.
was
The
Like,
crazy.
STL is just a chaos division.
I'm
yeah,
sad. I not to talk about too much about last year. I was sad because a lot of people started not playing the last few weeks. So games that I thought people could have lost, and I would have had tiebreakers over them. They were getting forfeit wins, which kind of sucked. Which
yeah,
meant that I was losing out on the
dude,
playoffs from
like,
just forfeit games. But
dude, it was just.
the other
I'm sorry
everything was
for
crazy.
cutting you off. Sorry for
No,
cutting
you're
you
good.
off, but it was just kind of crazy how you missed the playoffs going 9-5 that season. By the way,
And then 6-8 on the other side
yeah,
made the playoffs.
yeah, like
It's
just
yep. It's
disparity in
funny,
divisions. I think 10.
and I think it's
Sorry.
exact same this year. I think not the exact same, but like you can see 3-4 you're in the gauntlet in the backyard. 3 and 4 in the front yard, you're just outside playoffs right now.
Yeah. It's very competitive right now, and like I can kind of get what you mean when you say like anyone can beat anyone in this division.
Like, I'll be honest, I'll just skip down. Even if you look at Brian Perez, he's 0-7. His losses are not that bad. He had a bad loss to Extra Fund. Epstein
Let
was a
me
little
look.
bit of a
Hold on.
bad
I'm
loss
away
by
from the
6.
computer. Let me get to it
Yeah,
so I can get
you're
to the
fine.
sheet.
But his losses are 3-4 runs, 2 runs. They're not bad.
Yeah, you're
He gets
right.
a little bit lucky with a few hits.
I
Like, yeah,
mean,
he's not scoring
outside
a whole
of this
bunch, but
one, yeah.
like, yeah, he's at. I would say the Extra Fun was a blowout. Epstein was a 6-run
A borderline
loss, which isn't the
blowout.
best. But the other ones are 3-2 runs. That's a home run by Henry, and it changes everything.
Yeah, and like I'm looking at it, and it's like, yeah, like, and he just barely lost to my buddy Notorious, and one of my friends.
Sorry for jumping ahead to like it's just this whole conference can
Honestly,
just
I don't
anyone can
blame
win.
you. Like this thing is just so crazy,
hmm
and you are,
So
and I mean, you are the SDO representative here that messaged me about this earlier. So I mean, take it ahead, man.
yeah, I do like the SDL. We were a very fun group.
Yeah,
Bunch of people this year. So next up would be Route 66.
and
We kind of touched on his team, and he's in here.
yeah,
He's got the power team right now. Tanya and Mark, 1-2 punch. He's got Angela.
This is a very power heavy team.
I had mentioned that Mark's been hitting home runs and RBIs. He's probably hoping that Tanya would be hitting a few more home runs, but I'm sure that's going to come as the season continues along. And he did get the new pitcher that he had mentioned. He's going from Grace to Angela, and that's funny because I did the exact opposite last year. I had Grace, or actually no, I didn't do the opposite. I did the
remember I
exact
made
same
like
this
a
year.
joke in the comments how like you went from because you traded like Grace for Angela because like you needed an arm because of Grace's arm being so bad, and I made a joke about how you traded a problem for an even worse problem or arm.
Yeah, yeah.
I got 99 problems, but now I got 199 problems.
Yeah, so he's going from Grace to Angela, so we'll see how that goes. I mean, he's at Parks, so I feel like the power is more important than necessarily the speed, and he still
Yeah.
has a
Ooh, Angela
few.
and Paco on the same team is something I really do not like.
It's interesting.
What
I'll
don't
be
you like
honest.
about it, Disky? That they both suck at playing defense?
Yeah, they're both like really bad at defense, or at least they can be
They
at times.
they are.
Yeah,
They are. It is since trading Grace, short grounders between the catcher and the pitcher are a struggle for
yeah.
sure. But I will say my first loss week 1 to DLW was a solo shot by Jeremy Burnitz off of a fireball. And then in the next inning or 2 innings later, Jeremy Burnitz hit another solo shot with a screaming line drive to walk it off. So that was my first loss. My week 5 loss to Epstein was a great game at Cement Gardens. He played awesome, but the winning run was scored on a throw home that ricocheted off Butch's head and went out of play, and the runner scored. And then my game this week against Luke was a tin can battle, and I just got tin canned, to be honest
Yeah,
with
I
you.
watched that game, and
I didn't see
it's
it.
big to see. All of these losses are by one, and the wins. There's been one kind of blowout win against Extra Fun, which crazy enough, he's 6-2. All the other wins have been close. So again, like a few runs go differently in these games. He's 8-0, or he's 2-7, whatever, 2-6. This division is crazy.
Every game in STL is a coin flip.
Yeah,
Yeah, CRK, you said you didn't see that game against Luke. I
yeah, I
was up
didn't see it.
4-0 in that game, and I think the 4th inning, and lost 6-5. It
Oof.
was pretty brutal. It hurt my feelings, but I digress. On with the next 7 games.
Yeah. Speaking of Luke Seth, you guys want to go over Luke Seth's team?
And he's next up, Tin Can
Yeah.
Alley. I don't really know Tin Can Alley teams, but I do know that he
I
was
know Tin Can
trying
Alley
to trade
teams.
for power. He was trying to get Betty Houston off of me, but he got her twin, her twin Bobby Bullgreen, and he also got Xena Fromm by trading
I don't know if I
Derek
like
Jeter.
that trade, honestly. Like, let
This
me look
is
at it.
a really fun team.
Yeah, like I didn't like this honestly for him.
Like it. I like it. I think it's equal value.
I think at Tin Can Alley I'm taking Jeter over Xena, honestly.
Tin Can, dude, Xena gets like easy ground rule double.
Yeah, but same. Well, like Jeter also can hit amazing liners that hit on the truck. He has definitely has enough power and contact for that, and he can also be
That's
nice
true, but
because he
Xena
can.
would be more consistent with that.
Yeah, he isn't as consistent, but he can still do it, and he's also 2 speed tiers faster as well when he does, and also
I
the
said they were.
amazing defense as well.
And if you look at his record, same. You're gonna hear this story for this entire backyard division. Just a heads up, because it's gonna get tiring. Every single loss has been close. Every single win has been close. He could be 8 and
Coin
0.
flip, coin flip,
He
coin
could be
flip.
0 and 8. I'm going to be honest. It's really hard to tell heads or tails with all of these teams of exactly maybe a power rankings between all of them, because I don't think it matters. I think it's just on any given day who has a hot hand.
Yeah. Because like he just barely lost to Pickle Boom, he just barely lost to Honorable, he just barely won against Root, he just barely won against Mike, he just barely lost to Epstein and Extra. Like yeah, and it just etc.
And with the trades, so he got rid of some defense and he got more offense. So it looks like maybe he was thinking he wasn't scoring enough and his defense is solid enough, or maybe his pitching is solid enough.
Yeah,
Looks like George only has a 1.98 ERA so far with the stats and the that have been
that's
inputted.
really
So
good. And
that
same
must
with
that must be it.
same with yeah, and although he really hasn't pitched anything, Jerry also has a 0 ERA.
Hmm.
Although that's skewed by how only face having 2 batters faced, probably.
This is like
Yeah.
four really good pitchers on the same team.
Yeah, he has Bobby, Dominic, George, and Jerry. Honestly, I'm
Yeah, I believe
surprised that
I,
only
I
George
have
has gotten
used two of
action.
these pitchers on the team
I
this season. On
I
my team
believe
this
that
season. Dominic, Bobby, used them both.
I
They both
believe he
stuck in the
started
field. I hate them.
he started Bobby in the game against Route 66, I believe, because I watched that one. I
Okay, hold
believe
on,
he
let me see
started Bobby,
what is Bobby.
and
The
then he
stats
had a sub him out.
may not be entered yet for here.
They're not. They're like 2 to 3 weeks behind.
Alrighty.
Mine are updated because I had the bad week, so
Yeah.
I had to get all my stats over to HCI.
Yeah.
And he got my game that got lost in. So yeah,
Okay.
that was all I had for Luke Seth. It's good team. He's 4-4 record. It could really be a coin flip on if he's 8-0 or 0-8.
This is Luke Seth's
Yeah, and
first ever
he can
season in
easily
BBOL.
yeah, and Luke can easily sneak into the playoffs.
I think Pickle Boom said that he has never beaten Luke Seth.
Yeah, because I think he lost to Luke in like the gauntlet or something in like the regional like pools.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, like the pre-gauntlet, he lost to him.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, I think Luke honestly like dominated that because I think like he came out with the blast when he beat like Russell 8-0 or something.
Yeah, more
Oh yeah, I
Russell
think I
later.
remember that.
Yeah, more on Russell later because I have a good bit to talk about that.
Yeah, let
Fortunately
me
and
go ahead and give y'all
unfortunately.
some lore on Pickle Boom and Russell. They're both from the streamer Squid Legs' communities league, Squid Leagues.
Yeah, they're
That's how
transplants.
they found here.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, they're both
We are
like
paying one
Squid
season
League's
one of Squid.
transplants, or they came from that league, so they kind of had a leg up.
Yeah.
You want to go over to DPAF's team, the other Weber team?
Yeah, that's
There's a
fine.
decent amount to say about DPath
It's
because
funny because
he's a Little League alumni as well.
yeah, it's funny
You
because
can't
all of
hear
these
the
teams are
VC for
switched
some reason.
around.
Hold on, Germbret. Oh, yeah, by the way, To answer your question, yeah, we since Chargader was here, we kind of skipped over the JO as of right now. We'll probably get to that next with Disky taking charge
Yep.
because
Yeah.
he is the
All right.
JOer here. You could probably join for
So
the JO as well, Germ, though.
Yes. Join.
Yeah.
yeah, my notes are out of whack just because of all the games that have been played. So he wasn't. Epstein was next, but now that Epstein is lost, it looks like Deep has jumped over him.
Yeah.
So Maria Luna is hard carrying this team right now. She has over twice as many hits as the next highest hits on the team, 12 compared to 5 for Samuel Middleton.
Deb had
Don,
Maria in Little League last
if you
season
look at
and
Don
ranked with
Ozark,
her.
Don has 1 hit and 18 at bats. I don't know if that changed in the week 7 game. That's already been played. That he won 6-4. But Don is kind of not carrying her weight right now.
Oh my!
But
This
he did
team's
give
just
up.
a Maria Luna carry squad.
Yeah, she's
This is
carrying.
like
She's
this was like the mid 2010s Angels with Trout and Otani, pretty much.
Yeah, and he did give up a Weber for Pamela Kirkos, who I believe is a 4th-round pick. So if those players were straight up being traded with no Weber boost being considered, the trade's getting vetoed because it's a completely lopsided trade. So technically, Deep AF has a stronger team than most others in this league because he has a 4th-round pick in the 6th-round
And honestly, it
slot.
makes sense as because like honorable mentions Weber was in the 3rd, whereas D-Paths was in the 6th.
hmm
So yeah.
It's honestly a win-win trade for them both.
That's why weather
Yeah.
stealing is a big strategy.
Yeah. Because it benefits the guy who has the Weber in the later round, because obviously it's a 3rd rounder for a 4th rounder. Like which one you pick the didn't pick the Weber in, if that makes sense.
Yep. Yep.
Mhm.
That's exactly why I wanted to pick Weber, but I knew I wouldn't be able to get him
Yeah.
purely as trade bait. But yeah, close loss to Pickle Boom week 1, close wins after a close loss to Luke Seth. Kind of got blown out by honorable mention, but the other 2 games have been close losses and wins. Just again, close games. Playing at Steel Stadium too, which is a little interesting. You'd think that Dawn would kind of be feasting at the big fields with her 8 speed.
Oh hey, DH34 just joined, by the way. Hey there, DH.
Hello.
We'll be going over
Hey, how you doing?
Hey there. We'll be going over the JL probably after the STL here, for anyone wondering.
Yep.
Eddie, you still
Yeah,
there?
that was all. Yeah, that was
Or
all I had on Deep.
okay.
I didn't have much else, unless if Disky did.
Yeah,
Uh,
ready.
yeah, this guy.
Ready.
He's really good with Maria Luna. This is his 2nd season with her. And this is his 2nd season with the little Wombats.
Oh yeah, true.
All right, who's next? I think it's Notorious Pun now. It looks like.
No man.
Another former LL player.
And SDL player, man. I want to talk. Oh no, I want to talk nice about him because Notorious is a friend of mine. We've talked quite a bit, but like, I don't. Man, this team.
See, his win against Epstein is big. When I created this, he was at the bottom of the gauntlet
Yeah.
placements at 2 and 4, and this propelled him. Where is he now? He is right outside playoffs
For
now.
anybody wondering, Epstein was the season 4 Humongous League runner-up.
Oh yeah.
And I knocked Epstein down to the STL in the gauntlet.
Yeah, we'll get to that when we get to Epstein's team. But on to that, man. I don't
And
know. What'd you say, Disky?
one thing point I have to mention, the notorious pun versus Epstein result screenshot was Johnny K10 versus
Yeah.
Johnny.
I had to go back to the schedule to figure out who was who because I knew that they were both Johnny, but I didn't know which Johnny was which.
They're both named Johnny, I guess, or John.
I think the thing that's maybe he is struggling because he has more runs against than runs for. He has Randy Johnson, but he has a 5 ERA with Randy Johnson. Last
Oof.
season, Ryan R had Randy Johnson. He was a first round pick, and I believe he had like a 1 ERA. It was something like that.
Randy
And
Johnson was the MVP last season.
that's kind of what you expect from a big pitcher like that. You're spending
And
a lot of
especially if
draft
you're
capital
picking
on
him
him.
in the first as well.
And I think another issue is that he's also at Parks Department, which is not a pitcher friendly stadium.
You're
It's
like, I
a
hate
batter
this
friendly
team.
Let me
stadium.
Okay,
just say,
can I say?
they should legalize Mr. Clanky's pitching.
Debatable.
Because we've been experimenting with that in BODL. It doesn't really change much.
I mean, you get an unlimited pitcher. That's kind of broken. But, yeah. Yeah, what I was about to say, my main issue, and I've even told Notorious, I think I've told Notorious about this. Once again, I hate talking bad about Notorious's team because he's a friend of mine, but it's like, I especially hate, like, this Tiffany pick, for example.
Okay, cool, she has an arm.
She's a pitcher, defensive specialist, but I
Oh,
mean,
she's
like,
Todd Xavier. Yeah, I kind of like
Yeah,
Todd Xavier,
you're
but
probably not gonna be pitching with her. If you do pitch, you might be using Markey.
why did you do that when you have, like, Randy and Markey?
you already have a good backup pitcher.
Yeah, and
Barry
he's just an
Bonds.
offense, and like just having like three offensive nothings here at Parks is just so brutal. And also, why is Nate here? You have
Why is
Clanky.
Sir Kowalski here? Why is
Yeah.
Kowalski analysis here?
Yeah, and he also really picked Markey way too early. I think he picked Markey or Billie Jean like 5th round or something.
Well, on the bright side, Randy Johnson is leading the team in batting. He has a
What?
See,
.538
I
batting
would say
average.
Randy Johnson has some
How
nice
is
pop in his
Pablo?
bat.
How is he batting better than Pablo?
I don't know. He has 2
He's
doubles
got
as
a
well,
nice line
apparently.
drive.
I want to point out, by the way, that he drafted for defense, yet he drafted both Petra and Pablo, by the way. Like, this team is just weird.
And nursed Billie Jean, who can
Yeah,
only play first base.
But it is a backyard division, so he is 3-4.
yeah,
Close wins, close losses.
yeah,
Putt
The
does
next few
have to win
weeks,
against me in his career.
yeah,
are
Not to
going to be
mention that.
very deciding about kind of where he ends up.
yeah. Like these are 3 huge games for him.
The next 2 games are against fellow 3-4
Mm.
members, and then a
Yeah,
4-4 member. So
I can see him sneaking it in, but yeah, I just don't. I'm not a fan of his team, and I hate to say that because
You're
this is
not.
a friend of mine. Is that it for that team?
completely fair. Yep. That was it.
Alrighty.
Next up,
ASD.
Another
ASD,
rookie here.
the American defender. He's been hardcore defending the SDL America so
Yeah,
far.
The
He has a
creator of the Civil War tournament.
yeah.
So he has a lot of power. First 3 picks: Xenon, Sally, Joanne,
Joan. Yeah,
Joan. Yeah, my bad. I'm
it's
not
okay.
so used to their names. But Joan has 3 home runs, but
street.
Sally and Xenon have combined for only 1. Mo and Sonya are hitting well. He doesn't have any bad losses, and by
Ooh,
bad I
this is
mean
a
like any
nice
blowouts.
all-around team, except Nan Porter. Get her off the team.
And get her
Hey,
off of
I've
the sixth pick as well.
I don't.
Why is
So
Kenny your seventh rounder?
I don't think it is. I don't think it is. So when they did trades during preseason, I believe it switched around people's positions
Okay, that would be the explanation to that. All right.
because I picked Kurt in the 8th, and Nan was not picked at that time. So
So a
I think
traitor.
it's weird how it's set up.
Okay, so a trade or something happened then.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, we have the grandma team. We have the
Nan.
grandma team. We have Joan and Nan.
But Nan's pitching well. She has under 3 ERA, and she's the main pitcher on the team. Johnny's doing pretty good, but if it gets to anyone else, it seems like the pitching has not been great.
Yeah, because it's kind of thin
Mickey
after that.
O'Connor can do something.
I mean, he's got some pitchers. He's got these here, and he's got Sally.
And
But the,
Mohan as
but the
well.
problem is that, like, with Sally, you probably want her somewhere other than pitcher, though, which is the thing.
But he's 3-4. Again, all the losses have been close. All the wins have been close, except maybe the Mike Dawson win was kind of a
and he
a
went to
blowout.
9
It was only
innings against Epstein, by the way.
yes. It's again, every team is close. I'm just going to be a broken record saying that over and over because I can't make heads and tails between all of these teams, considering they're all beating each other and losing to each other just
Yeah.
week after week.
Just a ton of, like, inner fighting between everyone, which you love to see.
Mm-hmm. No, it means that every single game
It is a good
in
game.
this division is going to be a great game. It
Yeah.
matters to the standings. And they're just going to be super entertaining because all the games have been close.
The
You're not going to
division
be
is
watching
just
10-0
cinema.
blowouts.
Yeah.
I think Epstein is next.
Yeah, which was the
former-
big shock for this team, for this league.
Yep, the
I had
former HL
Epstein.
member.
Honestly, going 14-0.
A lot of people had him at the top of their power rankings, I believe.
Me,
HCI.
Yeah, HCI.
Everyone had him. Everyone had him at the top. I remember I
I
scrimmed
mean, on
against him.
paper, this guy's just the best person.
Because,
in
like, I mean, he's
SPL,
literally
like,
he's literally I'm pretty sure he's actually the biggest faller when it comes to leagues. As I think everyone else fell by, like, 1 league for demotion, yet he fell from the HO to the SDL.
Mhm.
yes, I think he might be the only person in history to do that.
He made a few trades. I believe he gave up also I think he gave up his first round pick. I believe he had Jose Canseco, and I believe he kind of consolidated down
No, I don't think
talent
so.
in the later
I
rounds.
think it was Larry that he picked first overall.
I think it was
so.
DLW
Or
who got Jose.
Did he trade with, like...
Because I remember someone misspelled... Wait, no, it was HC who misspelled
it
his
was,
name
like-
as Conseco.
Was it, like... I think it was, like, Big Red TCJ, who we'll get to, who traded Jose, actually. I think.
No, so I'm looking at the preseason. He traded Jose, Tony, Ernie, and Reese
For Big Red?
to Big Red for Larry Walker, Mo Vaughn, Tony Gwynn, and Kenny Kawaguchi.
Yeah, because, like, it makes sense because TJC really likes picking Larry Walker.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He consolidated his talent down, so he doesn't really have the top tier talent in his team, but he has a more well-rounded team.
Yeah, which I mean,
but prior to,
what'd you say?
I was just gonna say prior to today, I was gonna say he's won every home game and he's lost every away game. So if he just figures out what to do on the road, he's fine. But
yes, the volatility of Cement Garden.
So
yeah, it's just so weird seeing him down here because I'm used to seeing him in the HL.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny because if he would have just stayed with what he had, because if he wouldn't have played in the Gauntlet at all, he would have been put in the Junior League, ironically enough.
The Gauntlet gives and the Gauntlet takes.
Yeah, it's ironic because, like, if he didn't play in
and
there
the
at all,
Gauntlet takes.
yeah, and it definitely took from him. As if he would have just stayed put, then he would have been in a higher league.
Yeah,
but he lost to a Disky.
But it looks like Lisa's pitching really well. And you can see he's not giving up a lot of runs. It seems like maybe offense is the issue, which kind of seems weird because he has a great offensive team, I feel like.
Which honestly kind of typical for Epstein to struggle on offense.
Gotcha. He's more of a defensive minded.
Yeah, because like that's what happened. Like he made it to the championship in season 4 off of defense because he just pitched like to the outside and like shifted and just holding everyone down. And then like in season 5 he had a really bad season, or a garbage season.
1-13, I think,
yeah,
because of a Nate forfeit.
Yeah, and I think it was because he he held some people down, but he just couldn't score anything. So it's typical for Epstein, I guess.
We'll always remember when Reese Worthington stole home against Loba.
Yeah, that clip is. Have you seen that clip, guys?
I think so. I think I've seen that.
Yeah, that clip is
It's Backyard
amazing.
Sports Center media, like
Yeah.
lore in Backyard Sports
Yeah, it's
Center
like a
history.
meme at this point about how that happened.
On the same level as Jibbo using ancient curses to make Ahmed Khan drop a ball.
Yeah, that was all I had on Epstein, unless you guys had any more.
Yeah. How about another
I beat this
surprise?
guy, so haha.
How about another surprise for DOW?
Yeah, former HLer and also former JLer.
He's 3-4, so in the pact with everyone else.
In
He's
fairness,
got
he does have a big win against Extra, though.
Disgusting team with
Yes,
Ricky.
and then also a 1-run loss against Pickleboom.
Yeah.
So against the
I
top
think
two
he was
teams
actually
in the league.
winning that. I remember I was seeing it like a few weeks ago, and I think he was actually winning that game against Pickleboom for a good bit of it.
I believe so too. I think so. Yeah. You got Griffey and Bluer, who's a great 1-2 combo. Griffey has a bunch of RBIs. Fun fact: Jeremy Burnett has the most home runs on the team with 4.
Yeah, we were going over his how we beat Route 66 because of Jeremy. If a Route
Apparently he hit a
66 is
fireball
coming in.
homer, which is like that adds him to the list of fireball hitters.
Yeah.
Jeremy Burnett will burn in my mind for the rest of the time.
That's crazy. He has 5 hits, 4 home runs.
And 2 were against me. Fireball solo shot to dead center and a screaming line drive right down the right field line, walk off at the bottom of the 6th. And I will make that excuse for the rest of my life.
Yeah. Looking at the rest of his schedule, any notable ones?
That's
a crazy non-division schedule.
His non-division schedule is difficult.
Our division
and
Leon and Uno is very fun.
Yeah.
And they're both away. They're both away. So that's at
instant loss.
So he's playing
on
at
the
Sandy
road
and he's playing at
is the most unwinnable matchup in Super-Duper League.
Yeah.
Are you saying away at Uhode or away at Uno?
Away at Uhode.
Sandy. Oh yeah, because Sandy.
Because Willie Singh, I think, has an under 1 ERA.
I really wish I could have played him at Sandy. I think my team would have matched up with him really well at Sandy.
Yeah, I mean, it was really slow, but yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Take your win,
3 games are against a 3-4 team, a 4-4 team, and a 3-4 team, and he's 3-4. So
yeah,
his next 3 games are huge.
That is honestly, you can say that for almost everyone that is 3-4.
Yeah,
right now. Everyone is playing each other, and it's gonna absolutely just be the difference makers in all of and who makes the playoffs, who gets.
Dude, this is
probably placed in the gauntlet.
Season.
Dude, this playoff race is insane. Is all I can say.
It's his next 4 because Notorious is 3-4 too, right?
Yep.
Yeah, okay. I was mixing up him and honorable mention, but yeah, Notorious is 3-4 too.
You're this playoff race is going to be crazy within the last 2 weeks, assuming the 8 games still close.
Pop in any stream you see. We'll probably be covering this league multiple times on Match of the Week.
You better be. We got some great matches coming up.
Yeah,
I got Pickle next week.
Yeah, I was I in a way this stream here is kind of my apology letter because I unfortunately didn't get a match of the week for a week 7. And it's honestly a part of the reason why I did this. Although I think I was going to do this anyway, but yeah, you guys get what I'm talking about?
Yeah, and it's also easy for us. I'm going to think that almost every single SDL matchup could be a matchup of the week just because of the storylines I know that is going on. I know the records.
We're going to need a match of the SDL and match of the week every week.
Yeah. It's part of the reason. It's one of the reasons why I wanted you versus you, Hode, Chartguider, and we got that streamed.
Yeah, I
It
was
was a
happy.
And got me commentating it.
yeah,
That was a very big match. And it
yeah.
was also SDL Rope versus SDL America.
Yeah, it was just such a huge match that there was other ones that looked good, but I was like, yeah, no. And especially considering how you DM'd me, that one was that was
I
an
really
amazing one.
I really wanted it streamed. I thought it'd be so
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, and it was. He got your wish.
Yeah, very exciting game, 1-0.
Yeah.
Very fun. If
Yeah.
we want to move on, we can move on to Mike Dawson,
Okay.
who crazy
Mike
enough is in the
Dawson.
relegation battle, but he's
Yeah.
2-5.
Yeah, Mike Dawson is. Yeah, I think
If he
wasn't
He's
he?
the guy who made the playoffs last season at 6-8.
Yeah.
And wow, these
And
are a
he
lot of
also
Mike Dawson
has
people.
wins against DOW and honorable mention as well.
And the losses are close. There's
Yeah.
one kind of, you would say, bad
Fun
loss to
fact, I'm
ASD,
actually one of Mike
but
Dawson's best
a
friends.
4-1
I used to tune
loss
into his
to Pickle Boom, 3 to Route 66, 3 to Luke Seth, 2 to Notorious. It, like, honestly, any of the 3 and 4 teams, if Mike Dawson picks up, and he's playing Brian this week, so let's assume that he's going to get the W against him.
Yeah,
He's going to be 3 and 5. If anyone loses, they're all going to be
And his
flip-flopping.
non-division
Yeah,
schedule isn't that tough.
Yeah, like he can
I mean, you
easily
got-
make a bounce back just with a couple
Yes,
wins
I
here and
agree.
there.
I 100% agree. He's got Moltrick, Russell, and Maddie, which it's not
Maddie's a really
Yuho
difficult
Uno.
matchup, but
Yeah, and Russell
I'll say
can go
Russell-
either way. So, yeah.
Russell, I know that you were saying you were going to talk about him later, CRK, but I will too, because his losses have been misleading,
Yeah,
in my opinion.
yeah,
But yeah, Mike Dawson,
fun
2
fact,
and
Mike
5.
Dawson has a win against Dr. Pecker.
His ERA is 3.64. It's not bad. It's not like the players
Yeah.
that you see have like a 10 ERA. He's given up on average 3.5 runs a game. That's not bad at all. I think maybe the
especially at
Parks department
Parks.
too with
That's
Kenny.
at Parks as well. You have to realize.
I think maybe Kenny Lofton at Parks maybe wasn't the best idea, but I know that he also went out and got Kenny Lofton, I believe. So Kenny was his guy.
This is an okay roster, in my opinion.
I think a bigger field probably would have played into maybe Kenny's strengths a little bit more.
Maybe.
But he's not playing bad. It doesn't
This
look
could have
like.
worked at Steel.
I don't know about Steel.
More like Tin Can, actually.
Yeah, this team should be. Yeah, I think this is definitely a solid tin can team because it just has a bunch
The
of
only
daily
pick I
use
really
powers.
don't like on this team is Linda Potter.
Fair enough.
She's just nothing.
I mean, when you get to the 9th round, everyone kind of sucks. In my opinion, it's kind of hard
How
to get
dare
like
you
a.
insult my team
It's kind of hard to see a
players.
9th round pick, in my opinion, and be like, "Oh yeah, that was a great pick." The only one I
Yeah.
could say that to is my pick when I picked Terry Vega because I think everyone skipped him
I
over.
mean, Olga
I think
Tollefson
Russell.
at
Actually,
215.
speaking of Terry, I think I was actually Russell almost picked Terry, but then I kind of I talked him a good bit about not picking him.
I think he was away, so I think you guys had to pick for him.
Yeah,
And I remember him saying that he was upset about it, and I was like, "Well, I got Terry."
Yeah,
And I gave him, and I
It
traded
would
him
have
to him.
demolished his team though, which is the problem.
Yeah,
Which
but
is
now
why-
but then he traded for Terry, so
Yeah,
it all happens in the end. All right, we could talk about that when we get to my team and his team.
Yeah.
But yeah, Mike is 2 and 5. He's in the relegation zone right now, but he's so close to the other teams. Picks up a couple wins, and all of a sudden he's almost in playoff contention.
Yeah. Next team, now finishing with Brian.
IJ Perez.
Yeah, Brian, and we had kind of talked about him before, where he's not scoring a lot, but he doesn't have a whole lot of super bad losses. He has a couple bad losses, but 1-4, 0-2, 3-6, 0-4, 0-3, those are winnable games. It's not like he's
Yeah.
getting blown out every single game.
What is ERA? It's 5.
Like
Then
it's not.
again-
Yeah, he's got 3
alright.
different pitchers.
Then again, I'm sure that this game and this game might inflate it, although I'm not sure if Week 7 is in there or not.
It
Yeah.
should not be. I think there's only been 5 games input.
Yeah.
So yeah, that'll inflate the ERA and the runs against a little bit.
Yeah.
But you could count that game as almost like an outlier considering the other games have been close.
Yeah, maybe he just had a really bad day. Just bad luck or like
Mhm.
just bad pitching or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Any team with Henry has a chance to score a few runs on any day.
Yeah, because like him and Julie can just score a few runs on their own. Let's see.
Exactly.
Like,
And he's got
oh, you
boosted
walked me?
Kimmy.
Okay, I'm gonna steal every single base now. Oh, you didn't walk me? I'm gonna hit every single homer possible.
Yeah.
The only
They're
thing
just
is that he does have 8 strikeouts with Henry and 9 strikeouts with Kimmy. So the
oof.
only thing I can think is that he's kind of trying to chase pitches with maybe his
46
his better
strikeouts in
hitters.
7 games.
Jeez. I mean, he is a rookie.
True, but yeah, that's
And it's
not
only going to get
good.
better. It's only going to get better through the season. But his weeks 10, oh, not even 10. Honestly, just the rest of his schedule is going to be rough. He's got Route 66, then Pickle Boom, then Big
Honorable
Greg,
Big Red
mention.
and
TJC
Whooper,
and Whooper non-conference is
and
pretty
Route
tough.
66. He's going to have a rough end of the season.
Yeah, and they also and you've also forgot to mention honorable mention.
Yes, honorable mention too. Who's 5-2, I believe, right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
So
yeah.
rough close to the season.
I mean, you can bounce back, but I don't know. Anything else you guys have think any
No,
other thoughts?
no. I think he can get a couple wins. But whether or not I think everyone else, since everyone else has 3 wins,
By the way, I
I
think
think it
that
might
this
be,
Kimmy pick was early. By the way,
it was. I think it
Honestly,
was.
yes. Even if she's at Ekman.
yeah. Like
I
just
think he can claw back a few wins, but yeah.
yeah. You guys want to go over to the front yard division?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the front yard's the best division.
Alrighty. With the obvious standout here at the top, just
Oh yeah,
domination.
Uno.
One of
Uno at
two
dirt
undefeated
yards
people left.
with who is it?
Oh,
Jay Green.
this is an amazing dirt team. Oh my gosh.
I
Oh
just
my
noticed,
Yeah,
by
gosh,
the
and
way,
I
then
how
love this team.
similar him and B-Ball's teams are. By the way, they're both like the Padres, and they both have Jay
This
and
team is
Maynard.
perfect. I love this team.
and Jay is not. His stats are only through 5 games too. I'm pretty sure he has more home runs, more RBIs, more everything. So his
Uno Leon
MVP
might
race is
is
actually
probably gonna
further.
make it to the league championship. Like,
I mean, like looking at
I
these,
think
games, every single game except for Week 5 against Russell, which was a 2-0 loss, has been 5 or more.
Yeah, he's been dominating.
With the
nobody
exception
can
of
handle the
Russell,
speed.
I'll add that he didn't
Yep.
dominate Russell.
He did the thing though is that he did make some trades. He got rid of Timmy, Trent, and Bobby, and he now has Grace, Sheila, and Horace.
I don't know if I like
So,
that.
so he got
I
more
like it. Speed.
but he did lose Bobby for a big bat, who had 4 home runs and 7 RBIs, who is second on the team for both. So it kind of remains to be seen whether or not this trade is. If I think it was 2 separate trades, but if the trades are worth it in the end, because I wrote down he's kind of fixing something that's not broke. It seems like.
Yeah, I remember talking about that with Uno. Like, I don't think that trade was needed, and I think it would just make his team worse at places that don't bounce with the weak bat.
Oh, let me just say, this guy has the toughest schedule remaining. Look at that.
Oh, so what you're saying is that his 7-0 is a fraud?
Ooh, that's a claim.
Is that what
He
you're
could
saying?
finish. I think he could finish 12-2.
Oh man, I can see him finishing undefeated. Honestly,
I don't think so. He has Yuho at Sandy Flats.
ooh, that is true. Then again, he does have like Jay and Maynard who can patrol that outfield. But yeah, like he has a bunch of weak bats though. They'll just get stuck in the sand.
I'm going to take him down week 9. That's all I know.
Ooh,
We'll see.
you're pushing you're putting out your chips that you're doing
Yeah,
that.
I have to. Except last time I really did it was week 2, and then I lost. So I haven't really done it as much recently.
I mean, good
I will
luck.
say when we've scrimmed, I haven't scrimmed him in quite a few weeks. When we were scrimming at Playground, he was beating me more. We did one scrim here at Dirt Yards, and it was a really close game until the 6th inning, and then my team just crapped the bed.
Yeah,
But I was winning up until the 6th. So
Uno Leon has beat me in a scrim.
I think I've played him like 3 to 4 times, and I think I've beaten him every single time. But with the exception of the final scrim, because my last scrim against him, I think I beat him like 7 or 8 to 1. But every other scrim has been like a 1-run game or something against him.
he's really solid.
Yeah.
He seems to. Whenever I would pitch to Jay, he would smack it out. So I've
Yeah.
learned to just walk. If I play him in a game, I'm walking him. I don't care.
Ooh,
So
interesting.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's all I had on Uno.
Okay. Next team, I think is Whooper is the next team, right?
Technically, it's me because I'm 7-1 right now. But
Oh,
we can go to Whooper.
the thing is the thing isn't
Yeah,
No,
updated.
yeah, it's not
another
updated yet.
crazy.
We can go to Whooper. That's fine.
Okay. Yeah, it is slightly outdated. Whooper kind of
Cool,
overdoing expectations as he was a rookie.
rookie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know what to expect
Interesting
week
team.
2. He got the big W against Big Red week 1. I knew that Big Red was solid. So I went
Big
into Tin
Red's
Can.
okay.
I went into Tin Can, and I only did like 2 scrims there. I was like, nah, I'll be fine. Kept smacking the left side wall, and his team was just solid enough, and he got 1 hit up on the truck, and the rest was history. He's got Amanda Hellerman, who's playing really great with a 2.5
He's
ERA.
the only player who's pitched on his team, by the way.
This isn't the best Amanda Hellerman on the Pirates. You'll see that later.
And his only loss has been to Uno, which was 8-0.
Which was a match for the week that didn't end up as close as we thought it would.
Yeah, I think his team is super solid for Tin Can. I don't think it's a bad team at all, but I think just whatever he has for this, it worked really well at Tin Can. And probably Dirt Yards just was too big of a difference.
Yeah.
But no trades made. He does have a big matchup against Yuho next week.
He smacked Moltrick 20-0.
Yeah,
Everybody
so
smacked Moltrick.
Moltrick their streams have been amazing. Love watching their streams.
Yeah.
A lot of the games I think every game has been mercy ruled so far.
Dude, I'm disappointed because
But the vibes are immaculate though.
Yeah, like
The
dude,
gifts.
I mean,
the
it's
gifts
like
are.
Little League
Hold on,
performances, like
can I say?
33-0.
Can I say? Thank you. I was about to. I'm sorry for rudely interrupting you, but I was about to say I adore the guy. Like his gifts are amazing. It's unfortunate seeing him just flounder, but I adore Motrick, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and I'll talk about him
He
later.
just seems like a goofball.
Yeah,
They start pitching solid, and then I think towards the end or middle of the game they start giving up more and more meatball pitches.
and then
And
it
people are
just
just
spirals.
they also have a lot of errors. So I think just the mispositioning of some defensive players. But I love tuning into the streams because
and
they have a whole setup and it's awesome.
Yeah, and I also adore like their gifts and just their presence in the community as well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so Whooper has
Whooper
has 4 TCA games in the next 5 weeks. So I think he's gonna end up the 2nd or 3rd seed, to be honest, depending on how I do.
I think he could be maybe the 5th seed because I'm really high on Matty Sands.
Ooh,
Big words right there.
Totally not because he mercy ruled me in a Little League.
Who did?
Maddie
Maddie
Sands.
Sands. So I don't know if we want to move on to my team now.
Yes,
The
Okay,
Reds.
let's go. Explain how
Sammy
explain
Sosa.
your thought.
Sammy Sosa
Sammy Sosa hit
MVP.
a cycle totally.
Hit the cycle. He did. Freak Show was there watching.
Do you
Kathy
have an
Wolf has been an
alibi?
amazing catcher. Betty was letting me down, but she's starting to pick it up now. My only loss was against Whooper week 2. All my other wins
You
have
had
been
some close,
solid.
like you had
1-0 versus U-Hode.
you
So
won. You just barely won against Russell, but you did have some big up wins in the last couple of weeks.
yeah, so my weeks 1 through 4, my runs were all in the first 2 innings. I did
Yeah.
not score a single run in innings 3 through 6 in my first 4 weeks. So I would get off to super hot starts and then just nothing would happen after.
I
That's
remember
that's
watching
different
that
now.
with like your game against Russell, I think.
Yeah, I believe Isabel hit a home run there.
Yeah.
And I think she was batting 4th or I think 6th for me at the time. But yeah, she had 3 people on, I think, and I think she had a home run. Yeah, I traded Isabel for Fernando so I could have a little bit better of a starting pitcher. I was getting tired of Betty being weak and slow, or not weak, but like a weak arm. And I traded Terry for Artie, so that I could have a more well-rounded player with that's not a 4-speed because
Yeah,
Terry
that
wasn't really hitting home runs.
and he was bad on defense.
Yeah, I essentially had 3 dead arms. Rachel is playing in left field for me. She can't really move because she has a good eye. So Betty, if Betty ever did not have to pitch, I essentially had to put Terry at pitcher, which is not ideal, or I had Terry at first base, Betty at second base,
Which is
and then
not
like someone
good.
like
Like
yeah,
you could get
yeah.
like if they had like a bunch of like speedier fast guys, like you could just ground all over that and demolish it.
Because right now my strat is I have Gwen Sears at first base, who has been really surprising. The speed catches a lot of people off guard and gets a lot of outs that maybe you wouldn't otherwise.
I think it's like I don't know about that like at first because like I feel like I'd rather have her somewhere else, but I get it.
I mean, it's either that or Kurt, and Kurt has a monster arm
Yeah,
for third, so
yeah, and you don't want to risk a 2 heights unless you have to.
exactly. And I kept getting sniped on pitching and first baseman, so that's where I'm at. My teams, I'm really happy with my team. I essentially traded Isabel and Terry, who are kind of 2 more power hitters for 2
Faster
maybe more
defenders.
faster defenders. They still have the power that they can hit line drives to the outfield, but they're 6 speeds, and
Yeah,
they have better arms, so they're just a
yeah,
little bit more well rounded.
yeah. Just like more speed and more defense, and like you can still hit decent enough with them.
Yeah, and you'll see through 8 games. So I scored 9 on Nardo, and I gave up 2 runs. I actually gave up a 2-run home run in the bottom of the 6th. So I've given up 11 runs this season. So the defense is solid.
Yeah. Yeah, the defense has been holding up really well, and I think even we played a couple of scrims against each other, Char.
Yeah, it was only 1, but it was at Playground. You walked me off with Julie in the bottom
By
of the
the way,
6th. I
I
think it
saw
was
you
5-6.
I saw your message when I was playing against Trigger about how like this the difference in coaching styles about how like I was like, oh, good try, Warlai and whatnot, and
You kept saying good try, and your team just kept making like they kept dropping everything and like running away from every single ball. It was
well, it's mainly
I would have
errors.
been raging.
I think like 80% of the coaches, like I was able to stay calm and and I brought it back because I scored 6 runs, although I still lost 7-6. But like yeah, I know that like 3/4 of the other coaches in the league would have raged at that loss against Trigger.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm done with my team. I already know my team's amazing.
Okay. Yeah. Good.
Uh,
This is self-confidence. Let's see if it holds
yeah,
up.
I love my team. Next up is Uhode, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, Uhode.
Who you had your great your game streamed game against him?
This is my pick
Yeah.
for the World Series. Why?
Oh,
He's
Uhode?
Ooh.
unbeatable at standing spots. Yes. Can we
But
see Whitney Singh's pitching stats?
that's
0.46.
that's big. You do know in the playoffs, if you're not the higher seed, most of your games are away.
Yuo's also proven that he can win on the road.
Let's see. Let's see his road wins. Okay, so he beat
He's 2-2 on the road.
Explorer, but that was Durag. He beat Moltric. He's lost a lot of his road games, or 2 of them.
So
He's
here's the
played
thing
well in them.
I'll say about Uhode. He has a great team. His defense is impeccable. My strategy when I played him, his top 4 of his lineup is great. He's got Jessica, Davey, Parker, Marty. Batters 5 through 9, I pitched for contact to conserve my stamina. Granted, I almost gave up a home run to Jocinda, and she did go 3 for 3 against me, but I didn't
Actually, I
care.
think I
She
remember
was
seeing
5
that.
speed.
Hold
Yeah, she
on.
hit the
I'm
top of the
eating.
fence, and I got super lucky. But
Yeah, I
for
remember
me,
seeing
like
that.
the top of his lineup was the key for me. They were the ones I was scared of. The back of the lineup, I didn't see anyone as a threat to score on me.
I mean, Jocinda almost did, and I think that what Jocinda hit there would have been a homer at anywhere else, honestly.
It would have. It might have been a repeat pitch, to be honest, because I'm really
Yeah.
bad at keeping track of my pitches and whatnot. But Whitney's been amazing. She's on the Clanky short list. He has a great team, and I agree. At Sandy, he's probably I don't even I don't know if I want to say that. I don't know if I want to say he's unstoppable. His games at home have been close.
Yeah, he just
2-1,
barely.
4-0, 2-1.
Yeah.
So it's not like he's like
We're gonna need to
dominating.
see if he can beat Uno Leon and Wooper at home.
Yeah, that's going to be
If
the
he
deciding.
can,
Yep.
he's unstoppable.
Yeah.
I'm hoping he wins against both of them because I have the tiebreaker over Uhode, but a win over Uno and Whooper would be massive.
Yeah, especially if the Uno won,
In this
because he'd be
division, the
Uno's first
STL
loss.
returnees have been legendary so far.
Yeah.
Like, they've had such great seasons.
Yeah.
And 2 of them have created a world war.
Yeah. You want to go to the next team?
Yeah. Yep, that was it. I
Yes.
had.
Let's see.
Who's up next? Is it Big
Big Red
Red?
TCJ. My
Yeah, so
man.
Big Red, he's got Keisha, Jose,
The
and then the
father of
rest
the
is
league.
He
yes,
likes defense.
he's got Reese also, who hit a home run off. So fun fact, he hit a home run off of me when I scrimmed Big Red, and when I played Isaiah, Reese also hit a home run off of me. I think it was Isaiah.
And he also hit a home run against Russell.
It
as
runs in the
well.
family.
So
Yeah.
I'm like, what the heck is happening? Like,
Speaking of which,
why
this
are all
game
these home
3,
runs
by the
I
happening?
way,
think we gotta crown TJ the GOAT of backyard baseball just because he's created his own opponents.
Game 3 was a walk off, right?
yeah, game 3, I think he was like down like 6-3 against Russell because Russell's bats came alive. And then I'm pretty sure
Mhm.
like Artie came in and like for like because Russell wanted to try him again, then he immediately gave up like a homer to Reese or something like that. And then I think it was it was just like an insane game. I remember watching that game 3.
Yeah. So he's 5-2. He has a great record, but it was the same thing that I was kind of mentioning about extra fun is that he's given up 26 runs against, which is a little high. And the wins are more
Pretty shocking
against.
considering his tendency to build around defense.
Yeah.
His wins are more against kind of some of the lower ranked teams in the league.
Except, I mean,
He did
he
lose
won
against
against
Uhode.
Rainey, and he just barely lost against Uhode.
Randy's pretty good, I must say.
Yes.
Yeah,
He took me to
but
9
like
innings in Little
for
League.
like I'm looking at the top 6 teams in the league, including him. He's only played Uhode. So he's got a lot of tough matchups coming up. But
Yeah.
he's 5-2 right now, so he's obviously
He's
in a
also played
really good
Wooper.
position right now.
Yeah, yeah. And he lost against Whooper, unfortunately.
Which I was thinking that was a bad loss week 1, but now that we've seen Whooper play a little bit more, it's not too bad of a loss, to be honest. Whooper has shown that he's good.
Yeah, this team, like, what do you guys think about this team?
I
It's
think
a
he has a
classic
fine team.
TJP team.
The way that he lines up his team sometimes, it's not how I would line them up when I watch him stream. But that's about it.
Alrighty. You want to go to the next team, or do you have any more thoughts about this team?
Nope, yep, that was it for me. I think next up
Alrighty.
is Maddie.
Maddie, who's been having a surprisingly not the best season so far, is all I can say.
It's been very up and down. Started off super hot, then had a rough 3 weeks, and then had a big win against you.
And he lost against two of my friends, or Explorer and Russell.
Yeah. He's at Parks. He's got Lindsay. Let's see, pitching. Pitching is Diana Hayes, who has a 2.36 ERA. He's
and
been
also
solid. He's
Perry, who has a
4-3.
2.7 ERA.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, when he comes in, he's got a lot of home runs. Considering
It's just such an interesting Parks team, I'll say.
Yeah, it's probably not a team that you look at and say, "Oh yeah, they're playing at
I remember,
Parks."
like,
But
even HCI mentioned it as well. That, like, in like his season previews, he said, like, he believes that Maddie will have a good season, but not off a team strength, but off a player's skill. If that makes sense.
yeah, and I
Yes,
believe
this guy scored for Little League.
Yeah,
because he was undefeated, right?
Yeah, he went undefeated last season in the Little League.
Then got eliminated in playoff by his friend Stern Wizard.
Yeah, by his cousin or something.
I think really he just has to start closing out maybe the games that he's expecting to win. Like if he wants to prove that he's in playoff contention, I think he's got to get the wins against like Russell and Explorer.
Yeah,
if he really wants to prove that he's in the playoff contention. So
I mean,
he's
Russell
got a game
and
against
Explorer
Rainey.
are solid players, even though they don't having good seasons.
So Explorer is a sub. So
yeah, he's my friend. I invited him. We played tons of games.
I was gonna say when I played Explorer, he was beating me. So his record is also very
I know Explorer
not
because I've
indicative to his
talked
skill.
because and I played a ton of scrims against him. We were like scrim buddies. I've known him like way before this season started, and I will say this, that Explorer is like way better than his record. Honestly.
Oh yeah, it's just because he took over, and I'll talk. We could talk about him later. But yeah, no, I'm 110% on your side with that. But yeah, Maddie's 4-3. He's got big matchups the next 4 weeks. He's playing Rainey, who he's contending with for the last playoff spot. Big Red, me, and Uno, who are pretty solid within the playoff contention. So he's got a hard lineup coming up. But if he gets some wins, that just solidifies that he deserves to be in the playoffs.
Yeah.
All right, I think Rainey's up.
Rainey, the first one below. See, I'm pretty sure was Nathan's. Rainey was Nathan's preseason prediction for the championship.
So Rainey's got the Ahmed brother, or the Khan brothers.
Yeah.
Because he got Ahmed 25th. Set the league on fire.
Yeah.
Yeah, started off hot. Started off 3-1. Unfortunately, the last 3 weeks has had to play me, Big Red, and Uno, and has had some.
Yeah, he got demolished by Uno.
Some big losses. Yeah, my team likes Parks. I'm not gonna lie. I kind of wish I would have picked Parks, just because I have enough power that I can swing for the fences and have some fun.
Yeah.
But they picked up a lot of the wins against some of the bottom teams at the beginning of the season. Got a lot of those wins. Lost games against big, massive players. Now
and also Russell as well.
Yes. a loss against Russell. Has some big games coming up against Maddie and
Maddie,
Will.
Whooper, Uhode, and he also ends the season with Pickle.
Yep, and then Notorious and Deep
Tough
are
schedule.
both also not easy
Yeah.
games at all
Yeah.
whatsoever. So kind of a difficult
Never
schedule coming
count
up.
out Will as well.
Yeah, because Will, I think got his first win, or got some wins. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
Yeah. So, like, what do you think about this team? This is definitely an interesting team.
I love any team that has Ahmed and Amir. I
I
don't care
hate
what's around it.
I hate it because I don't like those two.
Oh, really? They were always my favorite, so I always
I
have a soft
dislike him
spot.
because I was well. I like Amir. I adore Amir. I do not like Ahmed. Or Aqua and Ahmed's like me meh because I just think he's just so like just the glaze and like just like come on is about Ahmed.
Yeah,
So like I've never been a fan of him honestly.
yeah, makes
But
sense.
I do like Amir though. I like the little bro thing with him. I like Amir though.
Yeah. I think Maryland is a little awkward at Parks Department. Again, I feel like Parks Department is like a very offensive oriented field. Maryland is a very defensive player. Um, I feel like having a bigger bat in that spot instead of someone that plays really great defense probably maybe more beneficial for the team. Um, but also Maryland is apparently leading the team in home runs. So what do I know?
She has 2 home runs, which is more than Ahmed. How does he have only 1 home run with Ahmed? By the way, I want to point out. Like, look at
They
these
just
2
want
wins
him.
here. How?
That's a
Geez,
good
they're not
question.
walking him.
Yeah. Does he have like no and he only has 1 walk. And that was on Scotty. Like what? He does have 23 strikeouts though, which isn't good.
Uh, don't look at my team that has 37.
Oh, I want to look at it so badly.
I
My
love
team
to
probably
swing and
has
miss.
1738.
Yeah, 37.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was all I had for Rainey. If we want to move on to Russell.
Man,
Regarded.
come on. Let me see. Russell doing decent enough over there. Man, we've talked about it.
I said is he a Costco guy cuz boom boom boom. He's got all power.
Dude,
Squid
man,
League's runner up here.
man, as you may know, Russell is a good
Geez,
friend of
this
mine.
is all power.
Can I never mind.
Boom.
Never mind. Yeah, can I talk cuz Russell is a good friend of mine?
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was the one that invited him to the league because he's a great guy over there in Squid Leagues, and man, this season has just been so weird for him. Every single loss has been like 3 runs or less.
Yeah,
And
he should be in the other division considering
yeah,
how all the losses are going cuz
yeah.
that's exactly what the other side is like.
And
When
here's my big claim: if Russell played Uno at Parks, Uno would have his a loss already. Looking at how that game went,
Yeah, I don't doubt it. And my
because
game
like
against him was close.
80.
yeah, because I saw how that game against Uno, and I'm pretty sure Russell had like multiple big hits that were like gone at any or most other or that are gone at Parks, and I don't think
Mhm.
Uno really did. I will say that I think that if Russell played Uno at Parks, that would have been a win for Russell. Big claim there, and he's also
I know that
Uno's closest win as well.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I was gonna say like he's 2-5,
But
but he's shown to close losses to me, to Uno, to Uhode. He's not getting blown out. This
and
2-5
he's
could easily
also
be 5-2.
he's also beat 2 playoff teams in Rainey and Maddie.
Unfortunately, the loss last week against Will,
Yeah, that was really
really,
brutal
yeah,
for his
that really
chances.
hurt his chances.
Yeah.
Because if he won that, he's 3-4. He's tied with Rainey. He's 1 win outside of playoff
And he has a
contention.
tiebreaker over Rainey.
hmm
Yeah,
I
that
remember
like
when he was
what'd you say?
You can go ahead. I was just going to say when he drafted his team, everyone saw he was drafting power, and a lot of people were saying, "Well, that's too much power." And I was kind of joking, but I was also serious. I'd rather draft a team that I have fun with than a team I don't have fun with. And
Yeah.
it seems like he really has fun drafting a team with power. Doesn't matter if they have no legs, no arm strength. He went
Yeah,
power.
Russell's,
Um,
which I will say, because me and Russell have like a chat and like and Adam and whatnot, because we're all from the Squid Leagues and we've made a chat with each other to talk about the team and the draft and whatnot. Man, I will say
yeah.
though that even though the season isn't going amazingly, he's having a ton of fun though, which I adore to see.
No, yeah, he's been an awesome sport.
Yeah,
Even with those, because he started 1-4, and he kept having the one run losses,
yeah,
and he kept fighting through it. So
yeah,
big ups to him.
yeah, man. He's
He's
an
awesome.
amazing guy.
hmm He's
Uh,
also a dad of multiple kids, right?
yeah,
He's
him.
he's also a
Yeah,
fellow one.
yeah, him and
So
Big Red TCJ, like his matchup there was, which was a pretty big matchup. It was the dad off against him and Big Red TCJ.
yeah,
Who has more kids?
I
He
think he
who
has like
wins.
3. Russell has.
I think they both have 3. So
Yeah, I know.
Evenly matched. Got to play backyard
Yeah,
baseball.
yeah, that's all. Yeah, that's all I had for Russell.
yeah,
I feel
man.
like you would hope to see more than 7 home runs with a team with this much power, especially at Parks.
Yeah, it's
Um,
just like, yeah, the team is like, it's a team that can either win or lose. Well, any team can. That's such a really stupid phrase I just
no, I
realized.
get what you're saying. It's feast or famine.
Yeah, like he can either like it's a team that can win against anyone but can lose against anyone. Like honestly, I feel like if his game against you, Uno or Big Red TCJ or like even Will or whatnot went a bit differently, I can honestly see him being at the top of the division, Russell.
Yeah, I agree, and I just want to say I'm the one that gave him the idea to go to Parks.
Oh,
Because he was
really?
trying out, he tried out Steel Stadium against me, and he tried out one other stadium.
Yeah,
And I
Steele
said,
was my
why?
recommendation to him.
Because I said, you have a lot of power. Why don't you try Parks? And he was like, oh, which one's that? And I said, it's the one that last year everyone used when they had power because it has the shortest fields.
I
And I
don't
remember the
like
first
that
at
though
bat he
because
did against me, he had Sean Green and he hit a home run.
so that was just decided. I don't know about that though because my worry is that his team is so slow and it's like I'm worried that he's going to get grounded to death at Parks though.
Yeah, and that could be why he has a few of these losses.
Yeah, probably. I just
So
yeah, I know like it's why like I wanted but then again like at Steel like I don't know cuz like it I will say by the way it is also crazy how much power he has. 8 out of his 9 players have 80 plus power.
So I think one of the reasons we scrimmed a lot because I had a day off work, and I think we did like 3 or 4 games at Steel. I want to say every single game I won maybe by about anywhere from 6 to 10 runs. Um, when we played at Parks, it was like a 2 run game, and I think we
And
did
I
like
think
2 games
Russell
there.
also beat Pickle
So,
Boom in a scrim as well for some
hmm
extra to that.
yeah. So
Yeah, like I'm saying, man, Russell is better than his record, if that makes sense.
no, I agree.
Yeah, he got more
I think
wins.
he, especially in my game against him, it was a 3-4 loss. He hit it to the wall, I think, 3 times.
Yeah,
Um, Granted, if that was at any other field, it would have been easy flyouts, but they were almost home runs at his field. So
yeah. I feel like if
it
he
all
just
just depends.
gets a bit better than at batting, like and like me and him can probably scrim or something, then I feel like he can easily make a run. If he just gets a bit better at batting and like his eye gets better and his timing gets better, he can easily blow out teams.
Well, I think another one of his issues is that he kind of didn't really have like a pitcher. He was using Artie,
Yeah,
and then he switched to Leo Wayne after my game. Um,
I think Artie is
and it,
just gave him a ton of trouble is on the mound. I don't know why he was using him, honestly.
yeah.
Like I told him that like the slow ball has the same exact stamina loss as the hooks, and he was like, "Wait, what?" Yeah, I wasn't sure why he pitched Artie over like Joella, considering the arm the like the slow balls and the hooks and whatnot have the same stamina.
Yeah. All right, that's all I got for Russell.
Yeah, man.
We gave him a good spotlight.
Yeah, man. I just he's a great man and a great sport, and I just man, I hope he can win. But honestly, if he's having fun, that's what all that matters, though. And
Yeah,
it seems like he's having a lot of fun.
yeah, and he's going to be in our STL America versus STL Rope
Oh yeah, I saw that because
tournament. So.
for some reason I'm in that server. I don't know why I am though.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm like an imposter over there, being from the 8 show.
Yeah. All right. Next up,
Yeah.
I think is Will is cool.
Yeah, who
Yep.
just
William.
Will who actually he's had a solid like run here.
Yeah, he
Unfortunately,
started
against
off weak.
Russell.
Started off weak, but he also had a pretty tough lineup. Let's be honest. Me, Big Red, Maddie, then Uno.
Then like
That's a really rough.
Then
first
again, he
4
also
weeks.
lost to Nardo.
Yeah, in a close game.
And I don't like that trade for, even looking at his team now, I don't like that trade for Xena for Derek even more now, looking at it, the rest of his team.
You don't like it for you didn't like it for either team.
Yeah.
That's funny. Usually there's one winner in a trade, but you're saying no, go
Both
back.
lost.
And you guys are both better.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe he felt like his defense was not up to par.
Like, look
And
at
maybe
these
it did
scores, though.
help.
Like, he isn't even giving up a ton of runs at, like, Big City, though.
But then you could say that's why he traded for Derek Jeter and Nomar. Because look at that week 7 against Russell. It was 5-2.
Yeah.
How much of it was Derek and Nomar? Probably not that much. But
I think he hit like
who knows?
I think Russell hit like a bunch of outfield hits once again.
But 2-5, again,
It was a
kind
bit
of
of a
has a
run.
difficult. Has
He
a
did. I
difficult.
do think he lost against Explorer though, so I'm not sure if it's entirely up to date.
Oh yeah, you're right. That game did happen. So he'd be 2-6 right now, and then he'll have Rainy, Uhode, Whooper, Deep, Pickle, and Notorious. That's a really rough end of
Yeah.
the season schedule. All of those teams on the other side, I believe, are playoff teams. The only team that isn't is Explorer Z, who already lost against, so that
Yeah.
doesn't matter. Is Rainy, who's right outside.
Yeah, and like Rainy can
the
easily
playoff
make it
battle.
in. Yeah.
And so that's actually a really big matchup next week. Because if Will wins, he's above Rainy. Rainy drops down.
Yeah. Because he has this
And
tiebreaker
almost,
over both Russell and Rainy at that point.
yeah, and I
Or if
think
he
at
were to
that point it
win.
might it would probably just not solidify, but strengthen the case that the Maddie would get the last playoff spot. Because anyone below them would probably be 2 games out.
Yeah. Yeah. How
So,
about do we like this team, guys?
let me see.
It's alright.
Ready.
I don't like 4 speeds, let alone 3 speeds. So the moment I see a 3 speed, I get scared.
I mean, it is Jose. He's definitely one of the better
I
3
play
speeds,
with
though.
4 herring. No need to get scared when I see free speeds.
Like me
They
and
just
Heidi.
remind me of my king.
Like me and Heidi. So is that about it for
Yeah.
that team?
Yeah, I think so.
Isn't it like Nardo next?
Yeah.
It's Explorer, right?
Or technically, it's Explorers after my game.
Okay, yeah.
But
True. My buddy
yeah,
here,
so he
way better than our
Nice
record.
team.
So I believe he took over week 5 when he played Maddie and he got the W.
Yeah.
So if we ignore the first 4 weeks because that was someone else,
Yeah, that was
he got a
Durag.
win. He got a win against Maddie. He lost against Uno. It was a big loss, but still, Uno's a great player, so that's nothing to be upset about.
Then
And then a
Explorer's
loss
got all
to
the tough
Hooper.
competition out of the way.
Yeah.
Like this start, he was just ridiculous. And then
So he got the win last.
Look at this first 6 here.
Yeah.
For 7. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. That's all the good teams in the division.
Yeah.
That's every single one of them.
He beat Will. He's got Nardo and Moltrick. Week 11, I think, against Russell. Because I think Explorer's really good. I think he has a very good chance of winning the next 2 weeks. So
Yeah,
that would put
Explorer is
him at
really
4.
good, as all I'll say.
That'll put him at 4-6. I think it's unfortunate that he inherited a team that started 0-4.
And he also does not like this team, by the way. I'll point out. It's such a weird team because it's like it started out so well with like I like Pete. The only time I'd ever pick Mark in the late second is if I had Pete, and well, yep, Pete. And he then had like then it was Courtney and then Earl, and then I think like I don't know why he picked Libby and then Shane, but like the last 3 picks here, like I don't know what his do-rag was doing, the coach before him.
Nice contact bats.
Yeah, but they're all
He basically just
slow.
had super speed or super slow with decent bats.
Yeah, like I think even HJ commented about it because this is like the first team he's ever seen without a 5 or a 6 speed.
But I think Explorers traded Mike Piazza or the Libby Futterman,
Mike
who
Piazza
was
for
the Mike
Ezra.
Piazza clone for Ezra. So he did get a 5 speed, still has the arm, still has a decent power.
Yeah, I like that trade.
I don't know. I think Explorer's going to do really solid the rest of the season. I think inheriting an 0-4 team.
And a team that isn't that great in general. Yeah.
I
Lack
think
of high as well.
if it was in the other division, I think it would be more feasible. But it seems like the front yard division
Is just too
to make
stacked for him.
the top has too many wins at this point. The other side, there's more parity. There's more if you have 2 wins, I believe, or 3 wins, you're in playoff contention. But right now I think he just started a little bit too far behind, unfortunately. But he's been a great player. And in the last few weeks I have been putting him into my predictor because I know that he's good.
Yeah. Explorer is definitely he's easily like this may be a controversial statement, but he's honestly I feel like when it comes to skill level, he's like one of the best SDLers.
That's a hot take.
I've just seen him play, and we've had close games, scrims before each other, and I've seen him, and he's getting closer and closer to a beating Montana Magica, who's an 8-shower, and he's been scrimming a lot. Like, he's good.
I've only had 1 game against Explorers, and it disconnected, I believe, in the 3rd inning. So I don't have a whole lot of.
I really don't do scrims, so
What was the score against Explorer?
I think I was losing like 3-0 in the
Yeah,
3rd.
like just proving my points.
Scrims or anything. I lost by 1 to you. I did beat Montana, I think, the other day.
No.
So
I mean, any player can have a good day.
Yeah.
Mean, I beat George Manuki, KC, and CRK like back to back to back in one day.
yeah, at the end of the day, scrims, a lot of people also test out things. I'll be honest, I test out different lineups and batting lineups just to see if there's anything I want to switch up and whatnot.
Yeah, they're like
Game
the
day, though.
testing grounds.
Yeah, exactly. That's a whole point of a scrim. So
Yeah,
no, I think he's great. I think he's going to do great. Just whether or not it's going to be enough to propel him, and I think he'll be able to make it out of the gaunt. I think he'll make it out of gauntlet range.
I think he won't. Yeah, I think like he will. In which he has been talking to me that he might play next season.
That'd be awesome if he did. So
yeah, he was considering leaving though after the Whooper loss. Although he said that he changed his mind.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right, who's up next? Is it Will?
I think it's
No,
Nardo
we did
for
Will.
the end of
Nardo.
division. Let me look at it. Let me look at this.
So Nardo.
No, and Motrick. 2 more.
Yeah. So I played Nardo earlier.
This is a nice team.
So his team was auto drafted for him.
Oh, really?
He did not
That's why
draft.
it's so good.
Honestly, a good looking team for an auto draft.
So he did score 2 runs on me. So his runs for is going to go up even more. Yeah, I think he's just he hasn't played a whole lot, so the pitching locations isn't necessarily like to the corners. Like you kind of kind of expect them to be or need them to be if you really want to be super competitive. But he seems super nice. He's been attending every single week, every single game. So
Yeah.
honestly, as someone in the league, you can't complain at all.
Yeah. Hey, Whiff Spree. We're going over the SDL now. If you want to join in, Whiff Spree.
JL starting in like
So he had
5.
Yeah.
So he had Fernando Diaz. He didn't pitch with him. So I traded him Isabel Morelli for Fernando.
Let's
So
see.
he got a better bat and someone with an arm.
Yeah, Alexis and Wally, or Alexis and Judy, are kind of getting blown up on the mound.
Hmm. And then he pitched with Isabel for the last last 3 innings against me. Yeah, let me see his games. He's played a lot of the hard teams.
Yeah.
He's got
He's just been shut out
Explorer.
so many times, though.
Yeah, he does kind of
He did
chase a
win
lot of
against
balls.
Will, though. That is notable.
Yeah, he did have that win. So he has a win on the season, which is good. Week 11 against Moltrick, I think will be interesting. And it's not to say like I love watching like two bad teams go against each other, but I think it's going to be super entertaining to watch to see who kind of comes out on top in that one matchup.
Yeah, to see who isn't at the bottom, pretty much.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, see if Moltrick can wrestle out a W from that, get his first win.
Yeah.
Yeah, not much else to say. Just I think if he scrimmed a lot more, or played a few more games, or maybe kind of knew how the pitching works a little bit more, I think he'd
Thank
be
you,
a
Whiff.
fine player.
Yeah, what'd you say, Charguider? I was just thinking Whiff Spree.
Oh no, you're good. I was just saying, I think if he kind of saw how to pitch more, like pitch to the corners and whatnot, I think he'd be fine. And also, he chases a lot of swings. But all of this is just stuff that can, if you play the game a lot, you get better at it over time.
Yeah, there's
And a
definitely
lot of these people are rookies.
you definitely have a good bit of seasons, which is like a good bit of things that you can't really explain, but it's you do when you play this game, when you're at least if you're good at it.
Hmm. Like I played this game as a kid, so I kind of already had an understanding going in.
I didn't.
But the online, you're a little bit younger than me, so that makes sense. I played this game growing up. I never played online, but the online changes that have been made have been amazing. But it is different than offline. So even if you're amazing at offline, coming in and doing some of the stuff online, it can be an adjustment.
Yeah, I remember hold on. Yeah, I remember watching a old Backyard Sports Center podcast of Toast and Natastic and whatnot. And Toast was saying how it's an adjustment, because it's you see you're man, I used to destroy teams when I was younger. I'm gonna be just the new star of this league, but it's a learning
Mhm.
curve.
Yeah, I don't think it's as big of as a learning curve as a lot of other massive online multiplayer games that are out there,
But it's
but it
just
is enough where you need to have 10, 20, 30 games under your belt and kind
possibly
of
more
understand what's
for
going on.
all the intricacies, and that because the HL is getting harder and harder to get into as each season progresses.
Yeah, I guess I'm not necessarily talking about
Arguably no,
competing
because
against
I
the
almost got in DHL.
Okay,
I'm
so
talking more so just about kind of competing at like a LL or SDL level for a season.
oh,
Um,
okay. You're not talking
Yeah,
about
that's
the top league.
Oh, for a top league, I think you need a little bit more time. But like I've maybe 80 games I think actually played, and I don't think I would go into HL and win every single game. But I think I would hold my own at the bottom half of the standings, if that makes sense.
You think
I'd
you
probably win a few games in Humongous League.
you think you could win your odd game in the HL? like a game or two
Yeah,
here or there.
I don't think I'd go
I
in there
could go like
making runs.
4-10 or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I think like, cause like, so you'd be like Trigger Triz, cause he went like 4-10.
Yeah, just stay in there for Gauntlet.
Yeah,
I think because I think at a certain point there isn't a whole lot of micro skill in this game. A lot of it's macro. It's a lot about knowing what to do.
yeah. Well, there's also some other micro skills like manually fielding bounces and like knowing like where pitches are, like
Mhm.
timing and whatnot, and like pitches and
Yeah.
yeah,
And
No, yeah,
occasionally sprinting.
yeah, definitely.
yeah,
I compared to a lot of other massive multiplayer online competitive games I've played, um, this game is more achievable to, I don't want to say like get perfect at the micro skill, but I think the macro is where everyone stands out because the macro is kind of more so knowing where the pitches are. Um, and I
yeah.
think that's the big difference between someone coming in and like
Someone who's
a
gonna
vet.
like stay in the Little League and SDO, or someone that's like in the HO or something.
I think reading those pitches because when I scrim against the HL people, you guys don't swing at those balls.
Yeah,
People in the SDL and LL, when we scrim, I'm able to pitch those pitches and I can get those swings, and I do those swings. So it's definitely something that I can still improve on.
yeah.
But I think I yeah.
You're talking about like the top half of the HO versus like, or most of the HO versus like the SDO and Little League.
Kind of, yeah. Just saying that there is a difference in skill. I don't think it's so much that you need hundreds and hundreds of games to get into it, but I think playing 10, 20, 30 games helps you get solidified to play in the SDL, and I think within 100 games you could feel comfortable enough to um I don't know. I guess it all depends on the player also. I think within
Yeah.
100 games you should be able to know the in and outs enough that you could, if you're good enough, you can hang in the HL.
Yeah, you can
Yeah,
like at least like muster up like at least like like a couple of wins in the HO.
Yeah. I'm not saying someone's going to come in and just demolish everyone in the HL. You can see
crazy eight's
the
good.
people at the top of the HL. You guys all have hundreds of games. Completely different than than a lot of the people that are playing this, where they have um, 50 games, 100 games played.
And
So
a lot of them
That's
as
me.
well, like you have like people like, then again, like Visery has like less than, no, he has more.
it's also tough because you guys also do a lot of RBBL,
Yeah,
Yeah, online
which
offline experience definitely
is
counts
there, which
for
there's a
online
difference between
experience.
online, but it still helps with
yeah, like
locating
it
pitches, I would
still
say.
like gives you like a good like idea, like, and we've seen it before in history of the BBOL, like being good at the RBL
Crazy eight.
gives you like a big holster or a big advantage in the BBOL and vice versa.
hmm All right, a little bit of sidetrack. How about we do mold trick, and then I'm gonna go to bed, and then I'll let you guys do everything.
Ready,
Um,
ready.
wait,
Yeah,
why is mold trick not coming up for me?
This is a bad team.
I
Mold
mean
trick's
he
not
has
coming up for me.
Julie, so I mean that's better. That's at least decent.
So
I
here's what
mean,
I
I
have.
like Lorelai. I copied.
So for a pro for his team, Julie Dunkel has 11 hits. A con
Oh,
is that he's given
it's
up
Julie
97
Dunkel
runs.
on the Super-Duper League Blue Jays. If you know what's happening, his opponents are getting Julie Dunkled.
Yeah, so every game has
Oh my god,
been
97 runs allowed.
Oh,
every game has
Julie's
been
batting
personal.
650, by the way. I want to point out.
You get Julie Dunkled.
Yeah. It's kind of
Yeah,
crazy
and then
how, despite how bad he's doing, Julie is batting over 600.
he
You just
also has
you just
48
got
errors
Julie
with the
Dunkled.
team,
Sorry,
unfortunately.
hashtag hard carry.
Wow.
Shout out Yodek.
Moltrick, the streams have been awesome. I love when they stream. Um, I just, like I had said kind of earlier, I think the lax pitching sometimes just comes back and bites him.
3 innings, 3 innings, 5 innings. Oof. His only loss that wasn't a mercy was 2-10 against Will.
Yeah. And I think mine was a mercy after 4.5 because they did
4
the
innings.
top of the fourth, and then when I was gonna bat again, they said, "Nah, I want a mercy." Um,
Man, Moltrick is a trooper right here, is all I can say. Like, yeah,
we've seen people quit these leagues over
much weaker
half
losses.
over much weaker things. So
Like Zero Box.
the fact that they're staying in here and still streaming, still competing, still
This guy's a
participating, I
legend.
love it.
Still posting all those funny memes and gifs.
Mm-hmm.
Those Robotnik
Yeah.
gifs, which are hilarious.
Yeah. So I can't help but root for Moltrick. I hope they get a win.
I hope,
I'm
as long as it's
hoping.
not
I think
against
Voltric
Russell.
is also a member of SDL Rope, though he doesn't truly express it.
Are they?
Really?
I think he might be from I don't know, maybe.
I see NA Eastern. I don't think so.
Oh, never mind.
They better not be, because I want to root for him. And if
You're
he's
not gonna.
SDL Rope, I can't root for him.
I don't know. Like, I don't know.
Obviously, 11 hits with Julie Dunkel. Julie's the best character in the game, but there are people that are. I would guarantee. You look at Julie or Henry stats and all 8 teams that they're on. I bet there's someone that's batting worse with Julie than they are.
Let me
So
let me look. Let me look real quick. Actually, I can just look because I think she's batting about the same on me. I think Matitude is batted worse with Henry. Yes, because in 4 games he batted .33
yeah.
with Henry. Matt did in the HL.
So like it's not like Moltrick is batting 200 or 300 with
Let me see who has
Julie.
Julie over
They're
here.
obviously able to
Julie.
do what need to be done with Julie. I think it's just the rest. Getting hits with the rest of the lineup has been
Where's
the issue.
Julie? Okay, and Axel Thomas is batting 800 with Henry, so he's doing better.
That's Axel.
George, Andrew, Pays, Matt, Ben, and Ben Bath Beyond is 250.
So that's
That was
tough because I
Frosted
know that
Donut, though.
he's a substitute coach right now.
Yeah, but
So whoever had
him and Frosted Donut. But no, you have to realize that he's played these last like 3 games as well, or week 6, and there's 6 games in. So but batting 250 with Julie.
So Moltrick is doing fine with Julie.
Yeah.
So obviously there's something there that is working. Whether or not it's just Julie being OP or what, but 3 home runs with Julie. I think it's just if he can figure out how to bat with the rest of the lineup, I think he can. I say that, but the defense is what's losing the game. So
like look at this defense. Oof.
I think just figuring out the pitching mechanics and whatnot, maybe just watching a few more streams to see how people do it might be beneficial for Moltrick. But I'm rooting for them.
Me too.
I want
as
them
well.
to get a win.
Most of us are.
Mm-hmm.
We're rooting. If you're listening to this after the fact, Moltrick, like if they let me, I'll probably I might be able to edit these and split these individually to share to each league chats and whatnot. If you're listening to this 2-hour SDL podcast, we're all rooting for you, Moltrick.
Yep.
Except for when you're going against Russell or Explorer.
I'm still rooting for you no matter what.
I'm rooting
no matter
for
who
a
you
good
play.
game.
Ready? Yeah. I'm just a bit biased as I adore Russell and Explorer.
Depending on it, the context, the definition of a good game could be a 29-run mercy rule.
Yeah. Is there anything else about the SDL you want to go over, Charguider? Are you done for tonight?
That was it. I didn't really have anything for league leaders. I didn't know.
Hello, Techie Arrows.
I didn't know if you guys had done it for.
We didn't for the HO. Maybe could have, but we didn't.
Yeah. I mean, if you guys just want to go to the JL now, that's fine. I feel like that
Yes,
we
let's go
hit everything.
JL.
Alrighty.
All
Come
right.
on, I need to
I'm gonna
sleep.
go to bed. I'm
Righty.
tired,
Appreciate.
but
Thank
Good
you
thank you for
for
night.
having me.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Thank you. Chart
Appreciate
guide.
you for having me.
Appreciate
Have a
it.
great night.
Thanks for joining here.
Of course.
Appreciate it. Goodbye.